week. Welcome to the video. We're in running gun mode. Using my phone to record this because we're out here, as you can see, on the main street, and don't want to set up my camera and tripod and have to worry about that while I'm painting. So got my dual grid up and about to start with this outline. So we're gonna take some photos and get it going. First impression after getting this buffed is this fence is going to be crazy. So we'll see if we can tackle it. But yeah, gonna get it going. And oh man, we're sitting here in the Arlo Hotel in Wynwood, Miami. First night in this hotel, but the project is finished, and I'll kind of explain this whole trip in a wild one for sure. Yeah, showed up last Monday, so roughly a week. Today's Sunday, so 6 days. It seemed like the wall was taking so long. For a number of reasons. The surface, as I'm sure you saw throughout the video, was one of the, if not the worst surface I'd ever painted on. It was not even corrugated. It was like this weird rectangle slat. It was hard to get any sort of line or detail in the divots. At least with the corrugation, you can like follow it along the slants, but I couldn't really mess with that, so that slowed me down exponentially, caused me to use more paint. And this wall was just bombed out with the most random stuff prior to me painting it. I'm sure I'll either show or have shown the core image. It's on the most busy street in Wynwood, Northwest 2nd. It gets tons of foot traffic, which is another problem. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just people all day walking by. So I'm not able to step back really. There's cars coming through. There's a barricade. So there's only so far back I can go. It's a long wall, so you need to distance yourself from it. Not being able to see what I'm doing really. People all day walking by. The sun creating these harsh shadows throughout the day because, like I said, it's a slated fence. Another obstacle. But I was always saying, it's on the busiest street in Wynwood, and it might get bombed tomorrow when I leave. I don't have much hope or expectation that's gonna run for quite a while, which is a little disheartening. The last one stayed for a whole year. It still looks great. I walked by it every day on my way to and from this wall, so it was cool to see and relive that. And actually have a drone shot that's where you're able to see both the walls in the same shot. So yeah, that was cool. Hopefully this one I'll get to see in a year and see how it's aged, see if any of the colors faded, see how I could grow or things I would have done differently, but we'll see. It's out of my hands. You know, we got a photo, we got tons of footage, and made some connections, learned. So yeah, chalk it up to the game. It's out of our control at this point, as if it was ever in our control. But yeah, on the busiest street in Wynwood, and which was also a reason I couldn't really get much footage. The foot traffic there was insane. I'm not going to be able to focus on what I'm doing or anything I'm painting if I'm having to worry about my camera and my tripod while everyone's walking through. So I set it up usually in the morning, and then about 11, 12, too many people started walking by, so I'd call it, put the camera away, because the location is great. It's prime. The wall isn't the best, but the location is great. Now I was in the thick of it, right across from like the main hub. Yeah, I couldn't record as much as I would have liked. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed the process and the final result. Definitely hit me with some feedback. I think honestly that wasn't in the grand scheme, like it wasn't terrible, forcing me to slow down. I think I could always use just time to take a beat. I'm so concerned about efficiency and wanting to do things quickly that slowing down is not always a bad thing. And I think I'm going to take that into consideration moving forward, just purposefully taking a moment to just really settle in and work out some details and just add extra marks and things like that, because it really makes a difference, and I think I realized that on this wall. So I'll definitely gonna take that with me moving forward, and I think that's really gonna be a huge benefit to my mural practice, because in the grand scheme, no one, when they look at it in a month, no one is going to care how long it took me. If it took me 4 days, it took me 2 days, if it took me 6 days. It's more work for me, obviously, and in turn, maybe less murals, less output, less money, I guess, if you want to look at it that way from a business standpoint. But the end result is going to be the main thing that matters, and taking time to get that right is what it's all about. So going to do my best to keep that in mind. And so wall took longer than expected, which took some mental energy. Also, I was staying at a hostel. I decided I was gonna go not too long before it actually started. And as you can imagine, all the hotels and everything is just booked. So everyone floods to Miami and it balloons during this time. So hotels are either 20-30 minutes away and require an Uber, or they're just very expensive, like very expensive. You're spending 2, 3, 4 grand to stay here for a week, and I just was not willing to do that. Found this spot on the Southwest app, credit card app, and did some reviews. But yeah, stayed at a hostel 6 nights, and it was about $160, which is amazing. Not gonna be able to beat that. Worst part, and the thing that I've never stayed at a hostel extendedly for long, and I should have taken this into consideration, but when you're out all day, I literally would wake up at 7 every day, go to the wall, paint till the sun went down around 6, and then go chill with some other art homies all night and repeat. So no time to decompress for someone who needs time alone and is introverted. There's no time for me to like recharge. I was getting enough sleep, 7, 6, 8 hours a night, in between there every time. So sleep wasn't an issue, outside of the fact that sometimes it was hot or cold. There wasn't any covers in the hostel because I didn't bring any blankets. So that wasn't ideal, but it was within walking distance to my wall, so that was great. Saved so much money this time around. But the ironic thing is, this year I have way more money than I did last year, and last year I stayed at a hotel near the airport. It's just kind of funny how I could have afforded to do it this year, but didn't end up doing it, and in turn saved a lot of money. I need to go ahead and book the hotel now for next year because it's gonna be way cheaper. I'm not gonna be paying an arm and a leg, and just need to lock in and commit if I'm going to make this a stay for. I'm out here every year. First time I painted fruit in any wall, any painting actually. That's something I want to continue to incorporate. Whole muse of my work again is light, and the reason I paint flowers and fruit is how they use light to grow and to give us beauty and to feed us and to give us energy. Tying that in, also everything with verses like John 15 and fruits of the Spirit, Matthew 7:15, knowing us by our fruit. So bearing fruit, like the fruit of your life, the fruits of the Spirit. There's just so many parallels within Christianity, within being a follower of Jesus, that I wanted to incorporate. And there's just so much potential. Like, skim past the fact that it's called produce and like it's an actual production. And when we like apply that to our lives, like what are we producing? What is the fruit that we're producing with our lives? I think there's just so much potential there. I'm excited to keep pushing that. Still not fully, yeah, it is currently almost 11 o'clock. I have to be up in 4.5 hours. I would literally be painting because we're not too far from the airport and see a plane flying over my head and just be like wishing, dreaming of the time, like the day that I would be on the plane headed home, and it would just give me hope because I was going through it. The thing, I would walk to my hostel. It was about a 10-minute walk from my wall, from like the main hub of Wynwood to the hostel. And on certain days, I would just be walking home, walking back, just dejected and not in the best place mentally, just not wanting to continue having a solid day working, but then having to go home to sleeping in a room with like 8 other people and not having a space to just chill. It was a lot. I was going through a little bit of imposter syndrome, like feeling like I wasn't deserving to be there. I see like work being done and other people, and I had to remind myself and keep things in perspective that I've only been at this for 4 years, and and other people have been painting for 20. You know, the people that I was looking at when I first started this thing on Instagram, looking at their work, honestly in disbelief, not thinking that that was even achievable. And now I know these people, like, and they're my peers. And so I just have to keep that in mind. With that perspective, it's wild that I'm here, you know, just nothing but gratitude, nothing but feelings of being grateful. It's been a blessing. It's always interesting or fun to end out the year here. You cannot mess with the light, that's a fact. So we push through. I'm happy with the finished product. Pretty cash right now. I went to go get sushi tonight and I was like at the table, like dozing off. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
The fall before the climb, oh no, the more they try to stop